Life has a series of initiations. At different points, we have pivotal changes in our lives that are huge. For myself, it was looking at the relationships I had with other people. I had went through a series of poor romantic relationships and ended up isolated a number of years even before COVID. During that time, I really had to look at myself. I had to look at my behavior, how I was treating people, what I valued, and how I saw life. It was my dark night of the soul. It was my process of being burnt down back to the most basic building blocks of who I was. It was probably the most difficult time I've had in my life. And through that process, I learned a lot of things. I learned about consciousness. I learned about thoughts, feelings, and emotions, how they're transient. I learned that all we really are is consciousness. And as I got better, as I got stronger, as I grew more confidence, I started to evaluate my entire past. One by one, I went through each relationship, each thing that happened, and I resolved it in my mind. I made peace with it. But there were a handful of things I couldn't quite resolve. They were things that didn't have answers. They were personal experiences I went through. There were stories that I'd heard from family members and things that involved a larger community. They nagged at me so much that I decided to make this film, to go on a journey to speak with these people, some of which are a lot older, and it felt like the timing was right. My journey took me to Arizona, up through Tulsa, Oklahoma, Portland, Ojai, California, Oakview, California, San Diego, California. In the late 70s, there was a convergence of people around a place called Eden Hot Springs in Arizona. It was an old Victorian mansion full of hot mineral spring baths that attracted the likes of the Rolling Stones and many others. Here they would have healing gatherings, and it was the nucleus of a musical healing and spiritual movement that had a profound effect on me as a child. A lot of what came out of that was the foundation for what later became health-focused companies, movements, and music. It normalized healing and spirituality. And today, with so much depression and division and anger and lack of self-awareness, I see a huge amount of value in re-examining a lot of the foundations of where this came from. It's not just interesting from a historical point of view, but it's interesting from an inspirational point of view. And in my process of searching, I've found a wealth of content that I feel is invaluable to our current state of consciousness. So I invite you to join me on my journey as we make this film. I'm going to be posting lots of updates and examining a lot of this media and information in more detail. I can guarantee you it's absolutely fascinating. So please subscribe and join me on this journey. Thank you.